Hi, my name is Bob Hill, and I'm the president of the Church of Scientology, Mission of Riverdale, at 308 Broadview Avenue in Toronto. We're here to do another Sunday service for you during the coronavirus. The topic of today's sermon is how to improve your communication with others. Scientology is a practical religion. It teaches a person how to know. That's what the word Scientology means, knowing how to know. How does one talk so that another person listens and understands? How does one listen? How does one know if he has been heard and understood? Today's sermon is based on information from the Scientology Handbook, Chapter 5, Communication, by L. Ron Hubbard, who explains, to master communication, one must understand it. It's your first data. Communication, in essence, is the shift of a particle from one point of space to another part of space. A particle is the thing being communicated. It can be an object, a written message, a spoken word, or an idea. Get the idea of throwing a ball to a person and them catching it. That would be an example of communication. Do you have someone who you can really talk to? What is special about them? Chances are they give you their attention, they look at you and listen and duplicate what you have to say and let you know that they understand you. Have you ever tried to talk to someone and it just does not feel right? Like they are not getting what you want to say? Something is missing in that communication. A formula is a rule or principle that always works, like a recipe. What is the recipe for good communication that will improve your life? The formula for communication is cause, distance, effect, with intention, attention, and duplication with understanding. The person throwing the ball is cause. He has the other person's attention. He has the intention that the other receives the ball. The person catching it is effect, and he catches it and understands that the first person threw the ball and why they threw it. What can go wrong? Not having someone's attention happens a lot in life. Someone is on their phone or computer looking the other way and you're trying to talk to them. You may have had that happen. It makes it difficult and you may feel like you just can't get through and you may get frustrated, get angry, or may even give up. I'm going to go over some other things you can do to improve your communication. But first, I'll read the Creed of the Church of Scientology as it represents how we can keep communicating to and helping each other. All right? Great. So here we go with the Creed. We of the Church believe that all men of whatever race, color, or creed were created with equal rights. That all men have inalienable rights to their own religious practices and their performance. That all men have inalienable rights to their own lives. That all men have inalienable rights to their sanity. That all men have inalienable rights to their own defense. That all men have inalienable rights to conceive, choose, assist, or support their own organizations, churches, and governments. That all men have inalienable rights to think freely, to talk freely, to write freely their own opinions, and to counter or utter or write upon the opinions of others. That all men have inalienable rights to the creation of their own kind. That the souls of men have the rights of men. That the study of the mind and the healing of mentally caused ills should not be alienated from religion or condoned in non-religious fields, and that no agency less than God has the power to suspend or set aside these rights overtly or covertly. And we of the church believe that man is basically good, that he is seeking to survive, that his survival depends upon himself and upon his fellows and his attainment of brotherhood with the universe. And we of the church believe that the laws of God forbid man to destroy his own kind, to destroy the sanity of another, to destroy or enslave another soul, to destroy or reduce the survival of one's companions or one's group. And we of the church believe that the spirit can be saved and that the spirit alone may save or heal the body. Now, you may have felt while I was reading that there were points that you and I could agree on. Because basically the creed, it's easy to find agreement points in it. In the creed itself, it's stated, all men have inalienable rights to think freely, to talk freely, to write freely their own opinions, and to counter or utter or write upon the opinions of others. That alone gives us a free and open communication channel. And it allows me or you, no matter what, to be able to be there with the person and allow them to communicate. You got it? You don't even have to be a Scientologist. You can just follow that point. Okay? Great. Now, to have successful communication, you have to have the person's attention. Your intention must be strong enough to get the communication across. Weak or missing intention is like a weak toss of a ball. It will fall short. Have you ever had someone speak so softly or so weakly that you just can't hear them? Maybe they don't really care if you hear them or not. That is weak intention. You may have seen that in a university setting or any other setting where a speaker is just talking and he's just looking down at his papers and communicating or maybe not communicating at all, and the audience is kind of yawning and throwing paper at each other and laughing and looking at their handheld device rather than paying attention to the speaker. That's poor communication, and on the speaker's part, it's weak intention. Okay? Make sure you intend for your communication to be received. Make yourself duplicatable. Now, we can take that point there on making yourself duplicatable, where I'm talking to you right now, for example. If I was standing up here and I had on wild clothing and it was bright and it could distract from my communication, and the communication would become my wild clothing instead of me actually communicating to you. Does that make sense to you? Good. Anger, rudeness are hard to duplicate. Good manners, kindness are easy to duplicate. There you go, eh? If you are on the receiving end, acknowledge the person that you got and understand their communication. An acknowledgement can be a nod, an okay, a thank you, a wave, anything that shows that you got the communication. The person listening has to have their attention on the person talking and let the other know when they understand. That's the point where you're acknowledging. An example could be, well, I know I go for a walk every day practically. And there's an old couple that I've walked by their house about, I don't know, for 15 years. I used to walk by with my dog. And so their stable acknowledgement was they would look at me with the dog and say, "How's the dog today?" And I would talk about the dog. Now, my dog is too old, so she can't walk that far. So I walk by myself. So now they look in for a few weeks they couldn't say anything, but then they recognized me and they said, "Where's your dog?" And I said, "Well, she's too old to walk now." And so when I walk by now, they're sitting on the porch and I wave at them and they wave back. That's an acknowledgement. Okay? Have you ever tried talking to someone who never lets you know if they got what you want said? Affinity is the how much you like someone or something. A complete cycle of communication will result in high affinity. Make your life more enjoyable. Take time to make sure you have someone's attention. Raise your intention to give them an exact message. Ensure they duplicate you and understand you and acknowledge any communication you get in return. You will improve your affinity with family, friends, at work, and even with your pets. Have a look at the communication of people around you and spot what is good and what needs improvement. Take what you learn and improve your communication. You got it? Good stuff. I will now read to you the prayer for total freedom. May the author of the universe enable all men to reach an understanding of their spiritual nature. May awareness and understanding of life expand so that all may come to know the author of the universe. And may others also reach this understanding, which brings total freedom. At this time, we think of those whose liberty is threatened, of those who have suffered imprisonment for their beliefs, of those who are enslaved or martyred, and for all those who are brutalized, trapped, or attacked. We pray that human rights will be preserved, so that all people may believe and worship freely, so that freedom will once again be seen in our land. Freedom from war and poverty and want, freedom to be, freedom to do, and freedom to have. Freedom to use and understand man's potential, a potential that is God-given and God-like, and freedom to achieve that understanding and awareness that is total freedom. May God let it be so. You can improve any relationship by taking the time to improve the parts of your communication with others. The Scientology handbook chapters are available in booklets. There are also booklets and videos with details on how to stay well that are available online for you. Join us next Sunday for more ways to improve life. Thank you.